Experimenting with photography. Architectural or industrial photography. So number one, we're going to talk about copyrights coming up, but make sure that you get permission. If you're in a public location, if you're standing on a public sidewalk, on a public road, you can legally take a photo of anything. However, there's some issues, obviously, if you're using a huge lens and you're zooming inside of the window of a house or an apartment structure, that's not okay. However, if you want to take a picture of some architecture, no one can come and tell you no if you're on a public place. And we'll talk about more of that with our copyrights. With architecture and photography or industrial photography, you want to choose your shot. You want to do a little bit of planning. And also you have to think about perspective control. Now, Photoshop does have a lens correction filter. And again, that's something that towards the end of this semester we will talk about. And it deals with, overcoming the fisheye distortion, the concave, convex issues, and straightening up your lines of perspective. But think about what's happening. If you're standing and shooting straight up, you're kind of at a worm's eye view and you're going to get some distortion happening. Could be cool though. Could be something that's really interesting. So you have to just be aware of it. Again, watch out for those distracting elements. Maybe you need to just step a few feet to the left or a few feet to the right to get rid of a distracting element. So again, back to simplicity. We want to try to make these simple and clean. So get rid of the distracting elements. Now, if you're inside, if you're shooting architectural or industrial photography and you're inside, obviously interior lighting causes lots of problems. The easiest lighting to shoot in is outdoor lighting, natural lighting. So if you're indoors, there might be insufficient light. How are you going to compensate for that? There might be uneven illumination. Could be really harsh illumination, some sort of really harsh, glaring light. And it might be a mix of indoor and fluorescent, which blue light, or incandescent, which gives you more of an orangish light. So how do you mix daylight, blue light, and maybe even orangish light? You could have all of those going together. And then the off-color illumination. So be cautious of lights. Be aware. You might have to snap a few photos and then actually take a look at them to know what just happened, because your eye, remember, we've got this incredible internal white balance. So our eyes think that we're seeing white when it's not really white. So don't trust what you see with your eye. Take the photo and look at what that photo looks like. Weather, that might be an issue, especially here in Minnesota in the winter. So how do you compensate for that? If you're outside shooting some architectural and it's snowing, guess what happens? If you have a slow shutter speed, your snow is going to look like lines going through your photo. So think about the weather and how that does affect your photo. And then something fun is the humor and the drama. Can you incorporate humor and drama? There's a lot of fun things that you can do, and that just makes it more enjoyable for the audience. You draw your audience in. They look at your photo for a longer time, you win.